speak faster. In 3 minutes, you can't speak very. Hey, Joseph, long time no see. Hi, Joseph.
Anybody sitting over there?
Good morning, everyone, our media friends, and all my colleagues here from the Liberal Party. Welcome to my office, my campaign office. We had a kickoff 2 weeks ago. It was fantastic. So I'm so happy that I'm welcoming everyone here again today. So actually, if you would, because in the interest of time, I'm going to speak in Mandarin. Is that okay with everyone? Thank you. 我就是谭桂琼 Senator Tam， 我是这个 Markham Thornhill 的这个自由党的代表的竞选人。今天非常高兴欢迎大家所有的媒体的朋友过来，我们再次过来我这个 campaign office， 欢迎，也非常感谢陈厅长的这个接受，还有这个安排。我们就知道过去2年以来我们的经济我们的省民都因为这个疫情的影响是非常的大的，尤其是因为我自己呢，过去21年呢都是在市政府的这个经济发展局里面工作的，所以我对这个经济发展还有就是疫情对经济的影响感受呢是特别的深的。所以呢，我们的自由党的政府呢，都知道了，我们现在的生活都是非常的困难，汽油的这个价格每一天都在涨，还有我们生活的成本呢每一天都在涨。所以呢，我们自由党呢我们是有非常大的决心，必须要帮忙我们的这个省民的怎么去度过这个难关。所以呢，其中一些政策呢，就是例如说这个公交车的车费，如果是我们当选以后呢，我们就会把它减免，变成只是1块钱，每一次都是1块钱，也包括这个公火车都是在里面的。这样子我们为什么这样子做了？我们这样子做了，就是为了把我们的这个省民辛辛苦苦赚来的钱放在我们的口袋里面。还有呢，就是可以留在我们的口袋里面，就不像是保守党政府呢，就只是为这些富人去服务的这样子，所以这个是其中的一个了。另外呢，就是我们去买这个已经预先准备好的食物呢，我们就可以把省的这个省税把它减了，就是20块以下的就把它省了。同样呢，就是让我们的生活的成本也是减低一点了，我们就可以我们去买餐的时候呢，就可以这个费用就是减低了。所以这些都是非常实际的一些政策的。另外呢，还有一个非常重要的政策呢，就是我们的小孩子的这个日托的这个服务，我们也是把它减低变成每一天只是10块钱，因为这样子对经济是非常有好处的。因为就是那些母亲父母呢，他们呢就可以提早的去回去他们的工作的这个岗位，这样子对经济的贡献就更加大。所以呢，另外呢，我们有一个经济方面呢有一个政策，我们都已经宣布了，就是叫做 economic dignity。因为我们觉得我们在加拿大，我们的省民，我们的工作，我们的这个打工的人必须要是工作的有尊严，所以叫做 economic dignity。所以我们的政策是怎么样呢？就是我们把这个最低的工资把它变成最低限度是16块钱。这个是其中的一个。另外呢，就是我们的这个有剩的假期，我们是增加到最低限度是10天，这个是非常重要的。我们都知道疫情的时候，很多人都是因为疫情病了，就也不去请假，因为没有这个带剩的假期病假。另外就是福利呢，我们是希望他们是可以从一个雇主都带到另一个雇主，就是永远都有这个医保牙齿的保健的这样子。另外呢，我们也投资更加多的资源到这个心理健康的方面，因为我们都知道过去2年多以来，这个疫情对我们的不光是经济的影响，我们心理的影响都是非常大的。这就是其中的一些我们对打工一族的这个帮助还有支持。但是另外就是对企业的方面呢，我们呢是这个非常好的一个政策呢，就是公司的这个收入的他们的这个收入税， 我们是把它减免了2年。所以这个 corporation tax 公司的这个收入就是减免2年，因为很多，尤其是小型企业啊，他们的这个过去的2年的收入都不多啊，所以呢，我们把它减免了。另外呢，就是还有新创的企业了，他们的注册费呢，我们都把它减免了。所以呢，这个也是支持这个小型企业去成立的。这些都是其中的一些只是一些很简单介绍，因为我的时间也不够了。但是呢，我们还有另一个很重要的一个政策呢，就是我必须要讲一下呢，就是我们政府提供担保，让小型企业他们要贷款的时候呢，就有机会去拿到这个贷款，还有这个支持。所以总括来说呢，我们的自由党的政府呢，就是希望我们支持企业，支持省民，我们都是听省民的声音的，尤其是小型企业，我们是非常对他们的支持的。好，谢谢。
Registered nurse for many years, advocate for the healthcare, seniors, and healthcare in general. May I present to you, Sue Wong.
Thank you very much, Minister Chan, and good morning. Because I only have 3 minutes, I'm going to respect my time. So number one, I'm very proud as a registered nurse, as a former nursing professor. The recent announcement is Scarborough by our leader of $1.9 billion to expand the services in the 3 Scarborough hospital. So with the Birchmount campus, not a hospital, campus of Scarborough Health Network, it will be improvements to the emergency room, as well as, and some of you already know, when I was the MPP, when I was a school board, I was working on a project called the Brightertown Neighborhood Center. That project was started back in 2010. So anybody tells you otherwise, it started recently by this government, that's false, okay? That Neighborhood Community Center is a multi-service agency. We'll have the largest regional dialysis program in North America. So I just want to share that with you. The healthcare piece, the platform is not completely out, but our elder care platform is out. So I'm going to share that with you because number one with the healthcare platform with the elder care is the end of not-for-profit, the for-profit long-term care by 2028 or sooner. We're the only party that put a date when we will be eliminating for-profit nursing homes. No other party has taken that position, and that's the right thing to do, my friends. The other piece is that we also need to make sure the future long-term care home must be small, home-like. As we speak today, this current government is building mega warehousing long-term care seniors, okay? There are nursing homes right now across GTHA, over 600 beds. Now, my friends, you tell me where the health care is going to be coming from. Where are the staff going to staff this piece? So, and then dealing with home care. We are very proud to share with you this morning that we are going to be increasing the home care in order to keep seniors at home or people adult with disability. We're going to be increasing that to 10% every year at over $2 billion. And then we're going to be guaranteeing the home care guarantee, additional 400,000 seniors can get home care. And last but not least, two new, permanent tax credit. One called the Ontario Caregiver Tax Credit that is refundable. It will be year-round tax credit. So instead of waiting for the end of April when you feel your income tax getting your refund, it'll be year-round, and a permanent home renovation tax credit for seniors. So that you need to renovate your home, you'll get that permanently. Because oftentimes when you have good programs, you have to say, oh my God, you may not get it next year. So I'm looking forward to have a conversation with you after this press conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Of us here, but from Stouffville. Candidate, please.
So good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for that introduction. Thank you to Sandra for hosting us all. My name is Kelly Dunn, and I'm the Ontario Liberal candidate from Stouffville. So I'm a high school teacher and I have 3 kids of my own. My husband is a high school principal as well. So as you can imagine, education is discussed a lot in our household. And I'm sure it is the same for a lot of you. Education is the reason why a lot of people move to Ontario. We have an excellent system, but excellent systems don't stay excellent on their own. They have to be funded and nurtured. And this is where you see the stark contrast between what the Ontario Liberals want to do and what the Ford government has done. So a lot of parents know that the best way for a student to be successful is to have a great relationship with their teacher. It's very difficult for teachers to establish those relationships and for students to benefit from them when there's more than, say, 30 students in a class. We made a very bold announcement this morning that we would cap class sizes to 20. So this is one of the first announcements of it. Class sizes would be 20 from grades 1 to 12. It is bold and ambitious, but necessary. We know there's been a lot of learning loss for students because of the pandemic, and we need to do something in order to support students, to make sure that we can get through that learning loss, support the students that need it, and preserve this amazing education system that we have. In order to do this, we will be hiring 10,000 teachers. Again, very ambitious. We would do this by recruiting internationally and from other provinces, as well as trying to bring back teachers who left the profession recently. So the pandemic created a lot of chaos in our schools, as we know, and the Ford government's policies certainly made that worse. One issue, of course, was ventilation. We wanted kids to be in school, but we want them to be healthy and safe. So the Ford government bought some HEPA filters, not enough, and said that they had done the job to keep our kids safe. Well, that's just simply not true. So part of our education platform will be to invest $10 billion in fixing our schools, namely ventilation. So schools that need better ventilation systems will get that, and our students can be healthy. Another part of that $10 billion investment will be to build 200 new schools, repair 4,500 more schools, and to provide more technology to our students. The schools that need those upgrades need them badly. I teach for the TDSB, Toronto District School Board, and I can tell you that these schools are old. They're decades old. It's very frustrating to teach in 2022 when there's no reliable Wi-Fi or technology. If we want our kids to be 21st century learners and be successful in the 21st century, they need to have that reliable access to technology. So class sizes of 20, 10,000 new teachers, a $10 billion investment to have proper ventilation, new schools, and fix our schools is part of our platform. It all adds up to a very comprehensive and ambitious plan that as a parent and teacher really, really excites me. And I know this is how we're going to get through. We're going to move on to post-pandemic Ontario and keep this education system top quality.
Thank you. Thank you, Kelly. I want to introduce is Emily Lee. My home Friday, as we all know, I myself was from our community. So I welcome Emily Lee to take my place, replace me, and become the next MVP. Emily, go ahead.
Yes, Michael. Hi everyone, my name is Emily and I am the Ontario Liberal candidate for Markham Unionville this year. 我接下来会用中文来给大家演讲，希望大家喜欢哈。大家好，感谢各位朋友今天可以来参加我们这次活动，然后也非常感谢这个媒体朋友们可以把我们的声音传播出去。我是 Emily， 我在 Unionville 呢居住了很多年，本身呢自己也是一个移民，爸爸妈妈是1代的移民。在我的创业的这个过程当中呢，我帮助过很多这个留学生还有移民来我们Unionville万景人村就业成长所以我深深的知道作为一个移民是多么的不容易。作为一个女性，一个女儿，还有一个2个孩子的母亲，对于这些所有家庭面临的这个挑战还有问题，我都是感同身受的。我爸爸妈妈是第1代移民，他们的艰辛我是有目共睹的。为一个家庭在一个全新的国家付出打拼也是非常的不容易。我也深深的感觉到了一个好的政府，还有一个政府的好的政策，对我们大家的这个生存，这赖以生存是一个保障来的。 所以我对这个安省自由党还是非常有信心的，不仅仅是因为我是安省的自由党的一名分子，更多的是因为我的生活经历，还有我的这个创业的经历，可以感受到实实在在的这个政府的政策会帮助到我们每一个人，不仅是无论我们是什么族裔或者是什么背景的。这个安省的自由党出的一些政策都是可以帮助到我们大家。那为了我们自己、我们的父母还有我们的孩子，我们是有这个责任来创造一个更好的成长和生活的环境。目前呢，我们急切需要关注的一个问题，就是要保护环境和注重这个气候的变化。在这个省选当中呢，我们安省自由党宣布了我们的环境计划，其中有包括保护和扩大这个绿带，将公车的费用，包括 Go Train 单程的这个车票减至1块钱，为居民提供更好的可以负担的这个交通的选项，然后还可以减少大量的这个尾气的排放。更重磅的就是取消我们福特政府党他现在要建造的413高速公路的这个计划。这个计划不仅会摧毁大片的绿化带，而且它不会为大部分人去节省交通的这个通勤的时间。那么，与其把这100个亿浪费在这个交通的就是建造这个一个肆意破坏绿化带，还不会为大部分人省下时间的这么一个这个高速公路上面，我们宁可像开林档刚才有讲的，大家也都听见了，我们的学校是需要很多的帮助。我们安省自由党将会把我们的这100个亿投资回给我们的学生，给我们的孩子，给他们提供一个更好的学习环境。这个6月2号的时候，这次省选对大家来说非常重要。那怎么选择，就是在大家的手上。希望大家可以做一个明智的选择。谢谢。
He's going to talk about economic dignity and the elimination of the HST or declared foods. Bruce Fahad, put in mind.
Thank you, Minister Chan. Thank you everyone for being here. Daigaho, Ohai Hong Kong Lek. I'm the candidate for the Ontario Liberal Party in Richmond Hill, Bruce Fahadi, and I'm running as someone who's been in the financial industry for the past 16 years and have seen what poor decisions by Doug Ford government has done to our small businesses. So as part of our economic dignity plan, we've introduced a number of bold measures to support our small businesses, to support people of Ontario. A couple of those I will mention is we've seen the businesses that over the last couple of years of pandemic have been really hurt. We will remove the corporate taxes on those hard-hit businesses for 2 years. That will support them get back on their feet. We've also seen how many of these businesses have had a difficult time, get online, go digital. So we will guarantee loans to ensure these businesses are able to have proper presence online and our businesses flourish both in Ontario and internationally. We've also seen over the last number of years, costs of things like delivery and credit card fees have really hindered down businesses. Hence, we will cap those costs and ensure that our businesses are treated fairly by international businesses that are also operating in Canada. We know that a lot of our Ontarians are also working as gig workers, doing deliveries and taking care of Ontarians, but they're also not being treated fairly. Under Doug Ford's government, they have been working and they have been legislated almost to work as a second-class employee. We will change that. We will put a stop to that and ensure that our gig workers are also being treated just like any other employee and are treated fairly just like all of us. Stephen Del Duca, the leader of Ontario Liberal Party, also introduced something that I believe will help all of us, will help all Ontarians, will help businesses, and that is to eliminate tax on prepared food below $20. We know cost of living has gone up under Doug Ford and his poor decision making, and we're taking good, proper steps to ensure that we're taking care of Ontarians, we're taking care of small businesses, and we're setting Ontario up so that we succeed as we go forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Next person I want to introduce, Richmond Hill and Oak Ridges. When you hear the word Oak Ridges, that's related to trees, environment. So it's so fitting that I introduce to you Margin Casilla. Please.
Thank you so much, Ni hao, and my name is Marjan. I want to share a bit of information about the platform on environment. I live in Oak Ridges myself with my family, and I'm so proud on having the environment which will serve the community with proper environment for the families to thrive. And what we have seen from Ford government, unfortunately, is slashing the environment and the green belt in Ontario. What Ontario Liberal are going to do? We are going to stop the Highway 413 for forever, and hopefully we are going to bring the funding from that highway to education. But this highway, once we actually stop this highway, it will help our environment to to go back to the proper so it will actually enable us to have proper climate action plan. We will increase the protected green belt and protect the lands in Ontario by 30%. We will expand the green belt in Ontario, and I'm so glad that it will protect our Oak Ridges moraine, which all of us in Oak Ridges actually love it. Another important part of the platform that I want to share with you is really kind of integrated with the healthcare and our elder care platform. As you know, we do need to invest in our healthcare. We do need to invest in our community healthcare to help the people to age at home, and we cannot do it without having enough staff. The COVID showed us that we do have staff crisis across the board. We cannot continue with this measure. And what we're going to do, first and foremost, we will repeal Bill 124 and the section of Bill 106. And also, we are going to increase the wage for PSWs to $25, and it will be, harmonized throughout the healthcare sector for the other healthcare professionals. We will close the gap between the wages for the hospitals, community, and long-term care. That will enable the more PSWs and healthcare professionals to go back to the communities, and we can serve the the plan that we have for the elder care. Thank you so much. I would love to talk to you more. Thank you.
Encompasses Male Last Spring, fantastic area along Yonge Street between Shepherd and Steele. And the person who wants to be next MPP for this area is Paul Sable. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Chen, and thank you, media friends, for coming today. So I'm extremely proud to run with this Liberal team, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to represent the voters in Willowdale. And what we hope as a Liberal team to do is restore integrity and good governance to the province of Ontario. One thing that sets me apart as a candidate is that I've spent my career fighting corruption, and I've spent my career fighting financial crime. And I only have 3 minutes, so I can't go into all of the corruption of this current government, but suffice to say, that is one of the key platform promises that we have with this great slate of candidates, is that you will not see the level of corruption that you have seen from this Ford government. The other thing that I want to talk to you about this morning is on the same theme that my friends and colleagues here have talked about, which is protecting our seniors. We've talked about the importance of reforms to long-term care, investing in healthcare. But there's another dimension of protecting our seniors that we need to talk about, because we are on the cusp of a generational transfer of wealth, and it is rife, based on my experience and based on my knowledge, rife for exploitation. We've seen numerous reports of seniors being defrauded over the phone, over the internet, by caregivers or by other trusted family members. And we need to ensure that there are resources dedicated to help our seniors fight and protect their resources, protect their hard-earned investments, protect the money that they have saved to pass on to their family. So an Ontario Liberal government will ensure that there is coordination between private caregivers, the public sector, not-for-profit organizations, to ensure that our seniors are protected. We'll ensure that there is awareness in the public about the schemes and the scams that our seniors are preyed upon. And we want to make sure that there is enough resources to enforce the rules that are available. I'm not talking about introducing more laws. I'm talking about making sure that the laws that we have are enforced and making sure that the people who prey on our seniors go to jail and that we recover the money so that our seniors can go into their golden years, can enjoy their retirement and enjoy their life the way that they deserve the dignity, the same way that they deserve health care, they deserve the economic dignity. And that's what we're going to be fighting for. Thank you so much.
The next speaker is from Don Valley North, Jonathan Chao. Jonathan, your brother worked together in the provincial government with me for many years. I want to warn you, I know about you everything. Jonathan, going to talk about the dollar Trump and more, please.
Well, thank you so much, Minister Chan. And I know, Michael, you earlier said that when you were introducing Emily that you're being replaced. And although I have no doubt that on June 2nd, Emily will be our new MPP for Markham Unionville. Michael, I also have no doubt that you can never be replaced. So I wanted to say thank you. And of course, I'm Jonathan Tsao. I'm the Ontario Liberal Party candidate for Don Valley North. And I want to thank all of our dear media friends here today. It's so great. You know, this is a press conference, of course, but when I'm with all of you, our media friends, it feels like we're just having an enjoying party. So it's good to see everyone today. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud to be joined by this incredible team right here, because what you've heard today is a bold and forward-thinking plan for the province of Ontario that's being delivered by these folks right here. And every day when you turn on the news, you see our leader, Stephen Del Duca, putting forward his plan for a brighter Ontario. And so the part of the plan today that I wanted to speak about, just a small part, I know Emily touched on it a little bit, but what I wanted to talk about today specifically is our transit plan. That just the other day, our leader, Stephen Del Duca, announced that within the first 100 days of the Ontario Liberal Party forming a government in this province, we will ensure that all publicly funded transit will be $1. And when I say all publicly funded transit, that means TTC, Go Transit, YRT, Viva, OC Transit, and so many more. Because we understand how hard the last 2 years has been on the people of Ontario. We understand how the cost of living has continued to skyrocket in this province. And the people of Ontario need our help. No, I would say they don't need our help. The people of Ontario deserve our help, and this is the role of government. If the government's not here to help its neighbors, its citizens, when we need it the most, then what is the role of the government? And this is what Stephen Del Duca and the Ontario Liberal Party understands about government, and why I am so proud. I am so proud to be part of this team. And I would say that with our transit plan, not only does it make it more affordable for our neighbors to get to work and to get home every day, it's also going to take 400,000 vehicles off the road, reducing emissions and making our environment a much greener and sustainable place. So folks, I think you've heard it here today. I don't need to go on. You heard from all of my colleagues here, all of our fantastic candidates, that the Ontario Liberal Party, led by our leader, Stephen Del Duca, is putting forward a very clear and bold plan for the people of Ontario. This isn't about gimmicks. This isn't about smoke and mirrors or tricks. It's about making sure that our neighbors, The hard-working people of Ontario have the support, have the care, have the help when they need it the most. So thank you again for having me here today, and I will turn it back over to our wonderful MC himself, Michael Chen.
Can I have the first question?
Go ahead.
Yeah. This year is the election year. We have municipal and also provincial election. So municipal election runs about 5 months. Federal election runs 35 days. This time, provincial election runs 29 days. Why is such short campaign?
Okay. Those who want to answer, raise your hand. And the first one I see raise the hand, and I'm going to ask you to speak.
So from past experiences, this is my 4th campaign. Is the decision the writ was dropped on Tuesday this week, is a decision of the Premier, okay? The Premier visited the Lieutenant Governor, dissolved Parliament. He could make it longer. He chose not to. And you also saw he presented his budget last week as his platform. He couldn't do it earlier than that because he hasn't tabled his budget, right? That's required. So the decision, short time for election, please refer the question to the Premier. That's his decision.
Next question.
I want to know about the Liberal parties on diversity. All right. So I think here most of them are infants, no matter you come 100 years ago or just come 5 years ago. All right. So and also we see that there's racism happens in all communities, Jewish community, Chinese community, Asian communities, and also the existing residents doesn't like new development. All right. So that means that's a resistance about the new changes. So my question is that how the Liberal Party has a policy on diversity and how to enhance community harmony. Thank you.
The family who came here 100 years ago in the Chao family. Go ahead.
Well, I appreciate that, Michael Chan. And you know, Michael points out the fact that my family did arrive in 1896 in Toronto. But even being a 5th generation Canadian, there are instances throughout my life where I was treated just as if I arrived yesterday. Because people don't know how long you've been here. When racism is involved, it's not logical. They look at how your skin is, they look at your name, and they make a decision without knowing who you are. Now, one of the, I think, very important things of the previous Liberal government that we had was our focus on anti-racism. And we had a minister dedicated to anti-racism. Now, when Doug Ford took over and became the Premier of Ontario, what did that become of? What happened to that minister? That Secretariat, anti-racism now, is under the jails portfolio. So that really shows you what is the priority of the progressive conservatives when it comes to anti-racism. They attach anti-racism with jails. Now, if the Ontario Liberal Party, when the Ontario Liberal Party forms a government after the June 2nd election, Stephen Duca, our leader, has promised that we will make a minister dedicated to anti-racism, and it will also focus namely as well. In addition to all forms of discrimination, systemic racism, we will also name specifically anti-Asian racism a part of that. Thank you. I apologize, but
That's bonus, by the way.
but one of the other pieces, I think, when Ontarians go to the polls and they have a look at selecting a candidate, right now they actually have a choice. Choice in a party that has selected 50% of their candidates as women, that have selected a group of candidates that reflect Ontario. So for us to be able to fight against racism, ensure that we have steps put in place to stop systematic racism, we have advocates and voices at the table, we need to ensure that our representatives, our MPPs reflect the Ontario that we live in. And when you have a look at the lineup of candidates, you have 9 of them here, but when you have a look at the 124 candidates that Ontario Liberals have presented, that truly reflects that we've got a plan, we've got a group of people that will be able to be there to fight against racism.
Well, thank you, Duca. Again, our second one-on-one. So anybody who want to talk to any